there any good white people in the world?
There may be, but it doesn't matter. And you know why? No matter how good an individual white person may be, they have an obligation to look out for the best interests of the white race. Therefore, no matter how well-meaning they may be, at the end of the day, they're going to close ranks with their own people. Every white person has an obligation to promote and protect white privilege. If there were so many good white people in the world, as so many black multiculturalists claim, why is apartheid still in effect? If you got all these good white people, we should see some structural evidence of their good deeds. Show me the good deeds of those good demons, and I'll change my mind.
Listen, black brother. Before you call anyone a demon, ask yourself who taught you to hate? Who benefits when we fight each other instead of them? This isn't black versus white, it's truth versus lies. The slavery narrative they fed you is psychological warfare. It keeps you trapped in a victim mindset, outsourcing your power to past grievances, while preventing you from taking control of your present. The reason I highlight these historical distortions isn't to claim victimhood, but to honor my white forefathers who endured slavery in the most atrocious ways. And more importantly, to acknowledge that those same white forefathers fought and died to free your people from bondage. Yet, you're taught to hate their descendants instead. Let me remind you that you benefit daily from white European foundations, the scientific method, technological advances and concepts of human rights emerged through centuries of exchange and development. While colonization had complex impacts, it often brought an end to practices like cannibalism and ritual sacrifices. In many regions, infrastructures like hospitals and schools elevated societies from practices we would find horrifying today. History reveals uncomfortable truths that challenge conventional narratives. The word slave originates from Slav, because millions of white Europeans were enslaved. Over 1.5 million Europeans were captured by North African traders. That's something you probably didn't know. The Irish endured servitude in conditions sometimes worse than other groups in America. Approximately 2,600 black slave owners owned slaves, including Anthony Johnson, who was Virginia's first official slave owner and owned both black and white humans. The transatlantic slave trade involved various participants, not just one group. Radical Jewish merchants played significant roles, with figures like Aaron Lopez operating 15 slave ships in Brazil. Radical Jewish plantation owners owned thousands of slaves. Meanwhile, Islamic powers traded even more slaves. Estimates suggests hundreds of millions, primarily white Europeans, with some practices continuing even today. What you don't seem to understand is the Kalergi plan, proposed by Richard von Coudenhove-Kalergi, a Jew, with funding from radical Jewish interests. He envisioned a mixed-race Europe disconnected from ancestral identities. Why? Because such a population would lack historical unity and resistance to control. This pattern repeats throughout history: infiltration, corruption, and elimination of those who might expose the truth. The white race they've desperately tried to destroy throughout history, and are still trying to destroy, is the only remaining obstacle to their new world order. Every chapter of history shows this pattern. They infiltrate, corrupt, and attempt to eliminate those who might expose them. So the white race that you so easily demonize is the last line of defense between you and total global enslavement. Your worth as a man comes from your choices, your courage, your commitment to truth. The white race stands as the final resistance against a plan that would enslave us all: black, white, brown, yellow, everyone. When you demonize the only people who have successfully fought these forces throughout history, you're doing their work for them. This isn't about white or black. It's about freedom versus slavery for all humanity. The real heroes aren't defined by their race, but by their refusal to bow to injustice, their willingness to speak uncomfortable truths, and their dedication to a world where all people can thrive without masters.